Yikes, I'm getting this question a lot. People are walking me through their homes when they're ready to list, and they want to know what things they should remodel or replace and what needs to be done before their home gets on the market. So I want to walk through these things, the do's and the don'ts, the absolutely, yes, take a look at this, and they absolutely do not do this to your home before you put it on the market. So we're going to cover the difference between an upgrade and what's maintenance and what's going to get you the best return on your investment and what some of these investments actually bring you on a return during the sale. So the first one I see a lot that people love to do to their homes are kitchen remodels, and probably one of the most expensive remodels. Now, this is typically absolutely an upgrade. I always use my house as an example. 1983, we're in the process of remodeling our kitchen. It's very expensive. If we're going to end up doing new granite countertops, all new cabinets, and maybe even move a wall in the kitchen, it can get very expensive. But remember, what you do to that kitchen may not be something that your buyer is going to love. Stay with trends. Are the trends white cabinets and stainless steel appliances, or is it not white cabinets and black appliances? I've seen a lot of black appliances lately. People are getting away from stainless steel. So just keep that in mind. Yes, it is an upgrade to replace an out of date kitchen, but you're going to see about 60% return on your investment when you go to put your house on the market. Now, it makes your home more appealing to most buyers, but keep in mind the buyer that comes in and falls in love with the rest of the house and the community where it's located, the view, may absolutely hate your taste in a kitchen. You don't know. So keep it with the current trends. Stay away from outrageous colors, the black cabinets and things like that. I would tell you to stay away from that. And just keep in mind that you're not going to get all of your money back. It makes your home more resellable, but it doesn't make it worth $50,000 or $60,000 more than your neighbor down the street. Another one I see quite a bit is people who try to do, they know something's going on, leak under the sink, and they try to do just a um, halfway repair themselves. I've seen where people have had a leak under the sink and they go down there and they try to replace the particle board that's down below the sink. And they don't get everything dry that's in down below there, and they just don't do a good job. So one good thing to do before you go on the market is have a pre-home inspection. That way, when we list your house, we can actually market it as it's been inspected. We have an inspection report. Now, will your buyer accept that inspection report? Probably not. They're going to want to hire their own inspector to go through the house. They may ask for a copy of it to give to their inspector just as a heads up about things, but they're going to have their own home inspection done. What it does do, though, is help you prevent things that could kill your sale, because that home inspector is going to be looking at your roof, make sure there's no shingle or tiles missing or broken out of place, going to be up in the attic, going to test every window. Some windows in Florida we never open. They're going to test all the electrical outlets, look at your panel out in the garage, everything. Going to go through the appliances. And it's just a benefit to you not to wait for the buyer to have an inspection and go, oh, look, you've actually got some broken tiles on the roof and you need to repair those. So always recommend that. Absolutely. I think it's a great idea. Flooring. I hear this with some of my senior clients a lot. We're going to replace that carpeting and put in something new. I will tell you, unless the carpeting is just absolutely trashed, I don't recommend doing that. Carpeting in most circumstances is outdated now. So you're going to put, let's say, 2,500 bucks into some new carpeting that the next buyer is going to come in and just rip out and throw away. All right. I highly recommend cleaning carpets for sure. But again, unless it's just absolutely trashed from animals or something like that, I don't recommend replacing carpeting. Now, taking care of those floors, those tile floors, those wood floors, whatever you have to do to make them look as good as possible for showings, I absolutely recommend that. That is something you definitely want to do. And as far as that carpeting, if it's to the point where you're not going to replace it, there's always an allowance that you can give to the buyer saying, hey, we know, this is, our grandparents' house. They didn't do anything as far as upgrades with the carpet. We know it needs to be replaced. And we're willing to give you an allowance to replace the carpeting or put new flooring down. So that's always a better idea, I feel, than replacing carpet with carpet. Roof replacement. Now, this is a big one, a very touchy subject, because roof replacement, especially in the state of Florida, that's considered maintenance. It's not an upgrade. If you need a new roof, you need a new roof. We bought this house that we're currently in. The roof was at that point, I think, 17 years old, in perfect condition. Had it inspected when we went through the buying process. And then 2 years later, I start getting notices from my insurance company. Hey, you need to replace your roof. Had 3 roofers come out and look at it. John, there's nothing wrong with your roof. It's in great condition. But the insurance company says, hey, we're going to drop you unless you replace that roof. Now you can get a citizen's policy, which is very expensive, or you can replace that roof, which is very expensive. So what did we end up doing? New shingle roof on this particular house was $23,000. Now, there were some things that we had to add on there. We have a flat roof over the lanai. We have a sun window on the top over the family room, had to be replaced because it was outdated. So there were some things that were added cost in there. But again, that's considered maintenance. And because you put $25,000 into a roof, again, it makes your home more appealing to a buyer, but does not make your home $25,000 more valuable because it's something that has to be done. Now, again, I've had people who have said, I'd be happy to give you a credit. We know this roof needs to be replaced, and we can't get it done before the closing date. This comes up during the inspection process. So let's get an estimate, and we're willing to give you a credit towards that new roof, maybe half of the cost of the new roof. The buyer, now this is something your agent would need to do, say, man, you're going to get the benefit of having a brand new roof on your house for half the cost. Can you imagine that? So that's a selling job that your agent needs to do, but it's another way to attract buyers to your house if you're at the point where it's teeter-tottering whether that new buyer can get an insurance policy on your house. Just because you have a policy doesn't mean insurance companies are going to issue a new policy. Remember that, okay? Your existing coverage is there. Some companies are going to come through like mine did and say, you need to replace that. Some just I've seen roofs that are 25 years old and they've still got an insurance policy in place. But that next buyer, there was no possible way they were going to get a insurance policy, new insurance policy on that house. All right. Driveway areas, I have people say, what should we do out there? That's curb appeal. I make sure if you do your yard or if you have a yard person that they're just spending extra time edging, mowing, trimming, and cleaning up the driveway area. You don't want people pulling up to your house and there's an oak tree and it's that time of year and there's leaves all over the front yard and all over the driveway. So that's something you definitely want to take a look at. If you have an issue in a lot of areas around here, there are huge oak trees, and those roots, they spread over the years. And I had a house in Bradenton years ago where the oak tree roots were under the driveway, digging through there and actually working its way up to the garage. And the driveway had actually slipped down a little bit because the roots were digging and the dirt was coming out. Yeah, $5,000 repair to take out that section of the driveway, replace it, and have that oak tree taken out. So that's something you need to be aware of, especially again, if you have a tree that's ruining the driveway. Windows, again, a very sellable feature that you can market. Hey, all the windows have already been replaced in this house. It's an expensive deal to have it done, depending on the number of windows you have, of course. Some homes you may have 15 windows. Some homes like ours, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 7 windows, 9 windows actually that needed to be done. Shopped around, found a great local company, PGT Impact Windows, got it done for it was like $8,000. Okay, but we had 2 other quotes that were $12,000 and $13,000. So you got to be very aware of that as well. So again, that's a kind of a maintenance, but it's borderline maintenance and upgrade for sure. So happy we did it. We also went ahead and replaced the sliding glass doors, and it's virtually impossible to hear something on the outside of our house now. And especially after the last hurricane of 2024, when it passed Milton, we were super happy that we had the new windows and the impact sliding glass doors. The old sliding glass doors, and I would have been a little bit nervous going through that storm. So again, that borderlines on upgrade and maintenance, but I would say more windows or more of an upgrade for absolute sure. Outdoor spaces. You got to make it for the appeal of everybody. Not everybody is an outdoor kitchen enthusiast. Some people want to grill out there. Some people want to make that an outdoor living oasis. They want their flat screen TV out there. They want a sink out there, a refrigerator out there, beverage cooler, all of that. Some people don't. Some people just want to grill out there and more open space. So you got to be aware of that again. Nice selling feature, but it's not something everybody wants. Landscaping out back around your lanai, just remember that they're taking into consideration what's it going to take to maintain those exotic plants that you put in. Are we going to have to rip those out because we don't know how to take care of them? Or is that something we absolutely relish and we're going to love learning how to take care of those plants? So that's definitely something. People who live on lakes, make sure that the shrubs behind your home have been trimmed, because you want the best view of the lake behind your house that you can possibly have. You don't want it blocked off. Now, you may have it like that for some privacy from people that are across the lake, but for selling purposes, you want the best view possible of that water, because that's a lot of people come here and they're just absolutely have to be on a lake. They can't imagine not having that, a pool and being on a lake. So you want to make sure that they get that full effect when they come in your house, that they're able to see that. Front door area kind of goes along with the driveway. Leaves, fresh coat of paint on the front door is just a nice maintenance thing. And having it appealing, not only when you're standing at the front door, look up. Is there any cobwebs or wasp nest or anything that's up there? Or was there one and it left some type of mark or stain that somebody coming from the north, they have no idea what it is. And they're like, what in the world? So you want to take care of that when the door first opens, free and clear of any kind of clutter whatsoever. You want it just to be one of those moments where it's like, It's amazing. You know, when you open it up, it's nice and light and bright, and people can walk through your house freely. So, yeah, just make sure the door area is well kept, clean, painted if necessary. The last one is window treatments. Please believe me, curtains are absolutely positively out. I don't know any house I've sold lately that said, "Oh my gosh, look at those dark curtains. I can't wait to have those dark curtains in my house." Um, I recommend always getting any kind of window treatments away or off your windows, unless it's just blinds where you can open them up, or of course the plantation style shutters. Um, Beautiful, but make sure they're open. Um, Probably, if you've seen any of my videos, you've heard me say nobody ever walks into a house and says, "Oh my gosh, it's just too light and bright in here. I can't stand it." But if they got the dark curtains and the blinds aren't open and it's dark, not a good look. Not a good look at all. So keep it contemporary, keep it modern, get rid of things. You never go into a model home and see curtains. Very rarely are there even blinds in the windows. So you want to model that. If you have to, if you're not sure what it should look like, go to a model home area in your community and go walk around and look at what the models look like. There's nothing on the kitchen counters. There's nothing in the bathroom on the counters or in the showers. There's a couple of things hanging in the closets. Um, but yeah, that's what you want. And again, very light and bright. Um, but be involved. Be involved in this selling process and educate yourself on all these things. But these are definitely do's and don'ts that I talk to people about on just about every appointment I go on. Occasionally, I walk into a house and it needs a ton of things done. And sometimes I walk into a house where it's like, your house is immaculate. This is perfect. Just leave it like this. But be involved. Look online, look at trends, look at things that are happening now that you can easily do to brighten up your house. You know, a lot of times, one of the stagers on my team, she brings in some plates and some red napkins and red pillows and just adding color to the home. A lot of times, just small things like that makes a huge difference. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have questions. You can always call me, 941 962 7443. I'm happy to answer questions for you. If you are putting your home on the market and you want me to come take a look, of course, I'm available in the Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Venice area. Call me. Happy to come out and take a look at your home, give you a current market evaluation for the market that we are heading into. Very important to that. Don't price it for the market we were in 6 months ago, because things are changing rapidly. So be aware of that. So again, hey, if you found this useful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I put out information 3 to 5 times a week. It's free real estate advice. So hit the notification bell, and every time I put out a new video, you'll get a notice. And I'm happy to answer questions for you, or put out videos that you have questions about. If you want me to do a particular video and answer questions, put a comment in there. I don't look at all the comments all the time, because there's a lot of them that come in that are negative. So I don't look at it a lot, but you can always send me a text message or give me a call. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.